here's your host, Alex Garrett.
Coming into Super Bowl weekend here on Alex Garrett Podcasting, there are three real situations emerging right now as we speak that ask me this question. Can President Biden wake up? Whatever you think of the Freedom Convoy, the fact that Americans feel the same way to do that, to disrupt the Super Bowl, to say we're going to interrupt Washington on the State of the Union address, that means, as you know, I don't know where those protests could lead to. I'm kind of terrified of them, to be honest. But it shows, firstly, that President Biden is not awake 100%. He's not listening to his people that say we are okay. We don't want to be mandated. There are, as Zach Miller pointed out, probably more infiltrators than just truckers saying we're not happy with Biden. So the DHS has to come out with a report saying expect them to hit LA on Super Bowl Sunday because they didn't wake up enough to try and fix the situation. Canada, that's Canada's fault, but now it's in the U.S., and obviously the U.S. has people that feel the same way. They don't want to be mandated. They don't want to be fired for not getting vaccinated. And that's why this Freedom Convoy is happening. Whether you agree with it or not, that's why. Because the federal government is asleep, and not listening to the average American right now. Yeah, the soccer moms that don't like what the schools are going through. That's number one. Number two, I found this disturbing. And, you know, RFK Jr. is kind of, so there's like four situations. RFK Jr. is a bit out there, let's be honest. But his book about the real Dr. Anthony Fauci is being blacklisted, if you will. Yet, according to this press release I got, there's a story out that Mein Kampf is allowed? That Mein Kampf, the Nazi manifesto, is not banned. Back in 2020, Amazon banned the hateful, race-baiting Whoopi Goldberg, you know, that is racist to want to wipe out a certain race because you think it's better than yours. Amazon banned and reinstated Mein Kampf, yet I believe Amazon's blacklisting the real Dr. Anthony Fauci. Personally, if they want to ban both, fine. But you allow Mein Kampf, you allow something against Dr. Fauci. Why that's even a situation is disturbing me. And no, Google, I'm not looking it up. I'm just trying to figure out if it's actually still banned, and it looks like it might be. It's still not banned, and it looks like it might be. Because Amazon in 2020 reinstated the hateful book. So that's number two. But speaking of termination, 4,000 workers here in New York of all city stripe, FDNY, NYPD. Now, there's a lawsuit about this. But looks like they have been fired at the end of today. 4,000 employees who you applauded on July 7th at the Hometown Heroes Parade, you're now saying goodbye to. That's not right. That's hypocrisy, if you ask me. And there is, I still believe, a lawsuit out there saying, you know, there are people with religious beliefs that don't want to take this vaccine. This is a freedom of their religion violation. And I have to believe judges in New York, they might stay the firing order. I haven't got any news that says otherwise as of this podcast. And so you're going to have unhappy New Yorkers this weekend who are fired for not getting vaccinated. The mandate goes too far when you say you could be fired for it. What happened to that vaccine or test that OSHA created. Now, I know the federal struck it down, but if New York City adopted it here, that would be huge. Vaccine or test, that's the best way to do this. And wear your mask if you're not vaccinated and whatnot. That's fine. Let them keep their jobs, though, Mayor Adams. New York City, I've said that before, I'll say it again. Let them keep their jobs. So in the Super Bowl weekend, it definitely feels like the Burrow Bengals and the Staffords of the world are on the back pages, further back than the sports pages, because we have another developing story. Ukraine could truly be invaded. Now the United States wakes up and says, oh, this could be happening. When apparently, Biden's press conference around his first year anniversary as president said there could be a small incursion. Well, I don't know if he just said it to say it, but now there's a real possibility of invasion. They are telling Americans in Ukraine to get out right now. Right now. Because again, the federal government was asleep at the switch. Well, there might be an incursion. Stop talking like that and just stop them from doing it. Now President Biden wakes up and he's going to have a meeting tomorrow with President Putin. With Putin, who I despise, and everybody should despise. But what could possibly go down in this meeting where the last time they met, you couldn't even turn the microphone on, Joe Biden, on the Zoom? Remember that? The last phone conversation, Zoom conversation you had, you couldn't even turn on your mic to start. And I think Putin was laughing at you. So it's sad to me that this bright young talent that is Joe Burrow, this bright light that's shone again moving from Detroit to L.A., him being Matt Stafford, is dimmed and not even covered really. Because the national stories are crazy. 3,000 troops. I think the Pentagon is sending more. That's what the New York Post reported. They're going to send 3,000 more troops to Europe. 6,000. And the big question to me always is, but you let our border be so insecure, you're flying people into Westchester. That's a fact. I'm not making that up. That is not disinformation. They're flying people from the border to our cities and states. But now we have to protect Ukraine. We should be protecting our border too. Of course I'm fired up tonight on Alex Garrett Podcasting. And we're going to have some fun conversations in the days to come on Saturday and Sunday. But for right now, you need to listen that this administration has been asleep at the switch. Asleep at the switch. Well, there might be a minor incursion. Why didn't we stop that then? Why are we all of a sudden scrambling because we got to see what happens? The see what happens approach is how Omicron got here too, many months ago. See, this administration isn't being headstrong about anything. They're letting it happen. Or they're almost going to let it happen, then finally do a Hail Mary. Pun intended because it's Super Bowl weekend. We as Americans have every right to be fired up. That 4,000 of our own workers in New York City are fired because this mayor, who I still want to give a grace period to, but he should have rolled back that mandate, that Mayor de Blasio, I am going to believe he's a failed congressional candidate, by the way, instated 5 days before he left office. You could have rolled that back, Mayor Adams. You could have. And told the workers, look, but you're doubling down. You're doubling down. And now lawsuits are happening and whatnot, but the idea that 4,000 of our hard workers, which I mentioned earlier, you honored on July 7th at the Hometown Heroes Parade because they don't go along with your agenda for religious purposes and whatnot, maybe medical purposes, you're going to fire them. Good job, New York City. Absolutely good job. And then, to finish back, that convoy. There's now a court order about the convoy. saying police can remove protesters in I believe, Ottawa and other cities. But what should we make of the chaos here? We don't want that on our border, on our shores, do we? We don't want that. I know they might be freedom-loving or whatever, but they're going to stop traffic. Remember, conservatives, you also said blocking traffic from BLM is wrong. So what makes this right? It doesn't make it right. And now we have 3 crises in this Super Bowl weekend to frickin' worry about. Converging onto one big weekend. And I'm nervous to see what goes down this weekend. I'm nervous that we go to war with Russia. I'm nervous about that. I'm nervous that these mandates aren't being rolled back entirely here in New York because we want to live free again. Not to block streets kind of free, but we do want freedom. I believe the best way to protest is what Joe Rogan does, which is talk on his podcast. Have people on and talk about this stuff. Why is it happening? How can we stop it? Why aren't mandates good? People have to start speaking out about it, but not protesting and blocking streets. That should not be happening. That's why this convoy is a little unsettling. A lot unsettling, if I'm honest. But this is all because, and not that I'm defending President Trump, because he and that party just said January 6th it was legitimate, but well, not him. Although he wants to pardon those that stormed the Capitol. I don't understand that either. But the RNC saying, well, this was a legitimate political discourse. Really? Banging down the Capitol doors was a legitimate discourse. I love that. I don't believe it, but I love that you guys think it. Because you know what? If you're in the Republican Party right now, you're thinking, boy, the RNC is messing up and they're going to lose this election. They're going to lose this midterm. If I'm a party consultant, I say, don't do that. Don't legitimize that because you're going to cost yourself at the ballot box in November a term where we don't want a two-party system being turned to one. And I mean one because the President of the United States will also have it. Right now, there's some sensible people in the Senate that are stopping a lot of this big funding. But you lose everything in November? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. But these same conservatives who did say they don't like that traffic is blocked by BLM protesters. You should be upset that the Freedom Convoy is not making other lives free, but clogging them up. Isn't that ironic? If they weren't protesting, maybe I'd agree with some of what they're trying to say. But they're going beyond just being a convoy. They are stopping roads. They're stopping streets, and that's not right either. And we should not have that on our shores, Super Bowl Sunday in Los Angeles. So, Secretary Mayorkas, you make that memo. What are you going to do about it now? You made that memo. President Biden, you're meeting with Putin. What are you going to say tomorrow? Can you even get your microphone on? And, of course, Mayor Adams. We all have high hopes that you're going to reduce a lot of stuff. Okay? We do. And I was really hoping that the mandate rollback would be one of them. So I'm disappointed that you did not roll them back, but doubled down. Because this is the same city that honored these people on July 7th, the Hometown Heroes Parade. And now they're being fired. Good job. Good job continuing to increase the morale of an NYPD that, as I mentioned, had to bury 2 of their own cops in 2 weeks. Now those cops that didn't want to vaccinate are being fired. Truly heartbreaking. Truly devastating, actually. That's what it's come down to. But this weekend I'm going to have some fun stuff because I still believe in America. I still believe in symbolism, and symbolism is the bald eagle. I'm going to have Mike Lemery Films, who literally films bald eagles for a living. We'll get to that. And then Sunday, Echo Factory's Mike Schaefer joins me to talk about the Super Bowl ads and whether or not the ads we see on Sunday night are worth it. Until then, this country's better show that it's worth it. We shouldn't be happy that 3,000 more troops are going to Europe amidst this possible invasion. We shouldn't be okay with the fact that 24 to 48 hours from now, Americans have to evacuate Ukraine. This should have been dealt with the minute President Biden said, well, an incursion could occur. Well, what are you going to do about it, President? Wait till the last frickin' minute when your Pentagon is panicking now? It's a last-minute presidency, and that's going to doom us. We could talk about inflation and all that other stuff, but to me, just waiting till the last minute and being asleep at the switch until then, not going to fly. It will not fly on Alex Garrett Podcasting. It shouldn't fly on your radar as well. So I hope you make the right move in the meeting tomorrow, President Biden. I really do. Or more consequences could be had. I'm Alex Garrett. We'll be back very soon, tomorrow and Sunday, with more fun stuff to talk about. But today, 3 converging crises. And what are we going to do about it? Watch the Super Bowl, right? That's going to be the best relief of all. Burrows, Bengals, Stafford, and the Rams. There's even a Detroit Rams shirt. I'm excited about that one on Sunday. And, of course, we'll have to dissect it all. But for now, I'm Alex Garrett. Stay safe this weekend. And be adaptable.